City Hall. All the bricks on the front of City Hall and clear through the building are all salvaged from our power plant that was destroyed. So we were all down there chipping concrete off of bricks, so that's all recyclable. The pavers that are going to go in front come from Topeka, Kansas, from the Menninger Clinic that closed, and we were able to come across those, so we're using those recycled products. A town can't survive very long if you don't have a school or a hospital. School is very important because that's the educational process that we need to make sure, as we're talking sustainability, it's our youth right now that really understand it. We need to make sure that we're the ones telling the right story to them. Last spring I had a mother come to me and she said, I just got to tell you this, Bob. I was cooking supper the other night. Let me revert back to one thing. We had a company that donated recycle bins to anybody that wanted them. So we all have recycle bins in our closet or wherever we can. This mother said, I opened a can of green beans, went over, threw it in regular trash, and my third grade daughter came up and said, Mom, we don't do that. The tin cans go over here. The point is, we've had the opportunity to implement in the curriculum in our school district environmental issues that, I mean, we've been blessed to have that opportunity in the midst of it. But that's what's going to change our whole thinking, is making sure we emulate to our youth what we want to, not continue to be those voracious consumers of those goods and services. USD422.org has a live camera on the whole site that we're building, and you can see where the solar panels are facing south on that. Right over here is these double wide trailers where the students will be in classes for 3 years. This new school will be completed next when school starts next year. I took this picture and put it into the new football field, and people said, why did you put in field turf instead of planting real grass? That isn't green. Folks, if you think about the whole thing, it's greener than real grass over a period of time. You don't have to mow it, you don't have to fertilize it, you don't have to reseed it every 5 years. There's a lot of issues here, so you have to look at the total picture on whether something's sustainable and how much energy was actually put in it to produce it. Plus, it's a multiple purpose facility that can be used for a lot of things. And the other reason it was so highly critical, our first, I don't know, in Texas, does anybody know anything about high school football? We haven't played a home game in 2 years. We've been playing on the road all the time. Football, basketball, everything. Our first game this year was on the new field in the new stands. And it was great for the community because after a long, hot summer, we needed a chance just to get together, cheer the kids on, and talk about something other than sustainability and rebuilding. And I encourage you to do that in the midst of everything you do, is take time to celebrate those successes that happen. And one of those was being able to just go to a place where you can relax and not think about some of the things that we've been thinking hard about for 2 years. Another picture of the school. Hospital is also highly critical. We're 100 miles straight west of Wichita. If I keel over right now in Greensburg, Kansas, they're going to stabilize me and they're going to ship me to the city. That's just the way we operate in western Kansas. But we still have to have a critical care access facility. We're going to have a pharmacy, a dentist, practitioners, doctors. This is a beautiful facility that is taking advantage of all the passive solar. It will have a wind turbine, it will have solar panels. The school and the hospital will both be LEED Platinum. And I'm going to go back on something on all those facilities you saw and the ones coming up. Geothermal wells. We have the highest concentration of geothermal wells of anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. This project was completed fairly quickly, but it's one that I feel the most proud of because you can see the actual results right now. We're the first community in the United States to have all of our street lights LED lit. And what that means is it saves us 40% on energy consumption on our electric bill to light them. And when you figure energy and maintenance savings, 70%. Yes, they cost more. But I challenge all municipalities out there as they're building new subdivisions or they're replacing street lights, take a real look at LED. You know, we've talked about compact fluorescent as a way to go. I'm telling you right now, LED in your homes and your businesses is the technology that's going to really save energy down the road. But these are, what is great about this too is you're driving into town, and most towns have the old sodium vapor and you've got light pollution everywhere. You drive into town until you're almost under these, you don't realize they're street lights because they're right down on the street, but they're very illuminating and just, I can sit on my front porch and I got a street light catty corner and I can see the stars. So that tells you there's no pollution. With all the loads of debris that left town, our streets just got tore up terrible. And we decided as a community we wanted a streetscape that was attractive, of people driving down the highway and look down Main Street and say, hey, I want to pull off it there and see what it looks like. We're going to have 6 cisterns that will collect rainwater and then be put back on the native plantings on the community. I don't think it's a tornado. I'm not going to try to fight that. The lady just asked me, is there any post-traumatic stress when we hear sirens? Even the animals, even our dog and cat. The wind comes up and they're right at the door wanting in. They hear a siren. Yeah, it's affected us all. Everybody at different levels at certain times in their life in the last 2 years. So yes, it is real. I just hope and pray that it's not injury or severe. You can? Okay. With the streetscape, the one thing that we wanted to make sure was that we planted native plantings that were indigenous to our area. Because we have went 40 years of wanting to have the greenest, most beautiful lawn, better than our neighbors. and we fertilized the heck out of it, and we watered the heck out of it, and we burnt mowers up mowing it. Let's plant some buffalo grass that grew on the prairies of when the pioneers settled our country. Do things and plant trees that are native to wherever you're at. And it doesn't matter where you're at, you have native plants. You've got native wildflowers, you've got all things that can add beauty to your life that was here that our ancestors discovered when they settled this country. When we talk about sustainability,